Fit in 10 Nation. It is day 29. It is the beginning of week 5. It is the week that leads to the middle point of the challenge, if you can believe that. That's still 7 days away, of course. And I don't want you to freak out because, as you know by now, the first 2 to 3 weeks is like getting the wheels just going, right? You're just starting to get on your way. So these next, 6 weeks going forward are going to be much more, I don't want to say successful, because you've reached success in different ways throughout this challenge. But in terms of seeing results, you'll probably see more results. And again, it's not because we really change anything in the challenge, it's just because you have a better understanding and appreciation for what it takes to do well in this challenge. I will tell you one more thing about week 5. Week 5 is typically the week where you quit. No, I'm just kidding, you don't quit. But it is the week where some people do quit. So this is generally the time where people will quit. Now, when I say people quit, it's like 1, 2, maybe 3 people in my biggest challenges. So I've had challenges up to 70 people. Typically my challenges are around 40 people, 45 people. Obviously, this is a much smaller group. And I just want to remind you that this is the week that you will not quit. And actually, to be honest with you, I don't get this feeling from any person in this challenge. But I want to remind you that you are just getting going. So you will keep going, you will stay focused, you will persevere, and you will do very well in this challenge. Okay? Because you can do very well in this challenge. All right. Let's revisit some of your feedback to me. Just to touch upon the twinges in the back thing that I talked about yesterday. I did speak with this person today, but I just want to, I'll reread the question here. I often get twinges in my back when doing lifts or presses overhead, mainly when lying on my back. How can I avoid this? So again, yesterday I mentioned about putting your feet up on the bench. But this person's already doing that and they're getting these sensations. And what I have to just sort of add to this is if it's not painful to you and it's not causing you any after effects, you're not in pain afterwards, you're not getting any negative after effects from this, it's just something you feel while you're doing it, it's probably just some of the musculature stabilizing itself. So that's probably not the best way of putting it. So when you are pressing, especially with the heavier weights, I ask you guys to sort of retract and press your shoulder blades and hold them in that position. So you're contracting the muscles in your upper and mid back. So this could very well be part of it. But even if you aren't and you're coming down to a press, the muscles are still to some degree going to contract. Even the lats play a part in pressing. So it's not uncommon to feel some stimulation in your back. And this is perhaps what you're feeling. Again, if you're not getting anything negative in terms of getting pain, you're not having any after effects, I really wouldn't worry too much about it, okay? All right, and also, again, this person had mentioned, can you go over MyFitnessPal macro counts? For example, at the start of each day, my pre-programmed macros are correct. At the end of the day, the total goals and what's left seems off. Okay, so just, I know I mentioned this yesterday, but just double check your entries. Make sure that the macro count is in line with the calories. And listen, sometimes this can be off even on food packaging. I've seen food packaging where the macros are listed in the calories, but it doesn't quite add up. Now, sometimes this is because of the way that they account for fiber. And we'll get to this in a future video. So that can be it sometimes. Sometimes it's just a mistake. Okay, so there will always be, or there can always be, some error in terms of your macros to calories. Just worry about your macros, and like I said, your macros make up your calories, with a small exception of fiber, but we're not going to go there. And I will talk about this in the future, okay? Let's keep it simple and keep going with the way that you're going. If there's a slight variance or difference between your macros and your calories. It's basically it's expected. If there's a huge difference, like what's a huge difference? Like if there is like a I don't know, let's say maybe 8% or more, okay, or let's say 5% or more, that would be something you may want to investigate. Okay, maybe you're not choosing the right entry. And if you're not sure, you can ask me, okay? I'll take a look. I'm curious to see exactly what you mean. All right, more of your feedback here. Okay, this person's actually tracking everything on a spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet that this person sent me is actually quite interesting. I've never seen a spreadsheet actually with so much detail. I was actually very interested to see this. Basically, it's just tracking everything they're doing, including all of what they did for training, exactly what their macros were, what their calories were. And there was some other stuff in there related to the details of the program. So very, very interesting. Very, very detailed. And the nice thing about it actually with this spreadsheet is you could see all the numbers from day to day right in front of you. So that was really cool to see. So keep doing that. Keep sending it to me, please. Also, this person's adding in core workouts to their cardio days. You can do that. We do some core work. I realize that you may feel like it's not enough, and arguably it's not enough. You could add in some more if you like, although it's certainly not. Adding anything to this challenge is not necessary, okay? This person also says, nutrition is still a work in progress. However, my appetite has finally caught up with the macros allotted to me, and so I feel like I have something more to work with. Okay, that's very good. You are digging away, and eventually you will feel this digging away, and eventually you'll say to me, Coach Mark, can I have some more food? And I will say to you, sorry, you got that in the beginning. Actually, you didn't really get that in the beginning. Your calories are pretty much the same the whole way through, okay? You just couldn't appreciate it in the beginning because you're just not used to being consistent. Okay. Okay. Some things that this person wants to improve upon for the following week. Meal prepping. Still need to work on preparing all my meals beforehand and planning what meals I will have. Okay, now I've seen this feedback from this person before, and they said they were planning their meals. So what happened this past week? Why did you go from planning to not planning this past week? What changed? I'd like to know. Why did that change? That's rare to see that. I usually don't see people saying that. Name something specific you need help with. Okay. Okay. All right, so your form is getting better. Your strength is getting better. You notice there's an increase in your strength. That's good. You know what? The exciting thing is in this challenge, you will see, especially if you're new to weight training, you're going to see your strength just go up right in the beginning quite a bit. Okay, this will not happen as you continue to weight train. Obviously, this peters off, right? I mean, I don't even lift the weights I used to lift. I lift lighter now than what I used to. So I don't lift the same weights I used to. I'm 42 now, so my goals are different too. So, and I just don't need to. So, to be honest with you, I'd like to, but my body just won't let me anymore. It's just too painful. Too painful. Okay. Is there anything you'd like me to cover in this week's video series? So this is a great question. Sodium intake. Did I talk about this already? I know I haven't answered this question, but did I talk about sodium? Let's talk about this. Sodium intake. Should we be worried about how much sodium we're having, and or does it affect fat loss? If so, how does it affect fat loss? Okay. I really don't understand. Wait, I'm already at 9 minutes? Really? I feel like I haven't even said anything yet. All right. Sodium intake. It's not an issue. Sodium is not an issue. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why this ever became an issue. I don't know why this is stuck in people's head. I don't know. The only thing sodium can do is if you have an influx of sodium that you're not used to having, you will hold extra water for a short period of time. That's it. That's it. And this would be a good thing for training. You'll have a better training session if you're holding water. Generally speaking, you will. Okay, some extra fluid. If you have some sort of issue with blood pressure or some malady with your homeostasis in terms of balancing your sodium levels in the body, okay, that's a different story. But that's a very small amount of people in the world, okay? Like, very small. Most of us, just, especially if you're exercising, take the sodium in, live it up. I have sodium first thing, added sodium, first thing in the morning. First thing when I wake up, every morning. I have about, well, I have it, it's a 2-liter jar. I fill like maybe 3/4 of it up with water, and I add in about a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, half of a lime, if it's a big lime, half a lime, if it's small lime, whole lime, and I do a couple 1/4 teaspoons, heaping 1/4 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt. It works out to probably be about a teaspoon of salt. And that's how I start my morning. That's the first thing I do. I hydrate and get sodium in my system because sodium is an important electrolyte that your body needs. Okay? I'm going to come back to this tomorrow because I want to say more on this. Okay, we'll get into sodium more tomorrow. Let's get to the message of the day. It's okay to want to quit. Totally fine. Just so long as you don't. It's okay to want to quit. Just don't, okay? It's fine to feel like you're doing many things that are harmful to you or will not benefit you, but just don't do them, and that's fine. You can feel like it, but just don't do it, okay? And this includes quitting. It's okay to want to quit, just so long as you don't quit. You won't quit this week, you won't quit next week, you won't quit. You won't stop until, at the very least, the end of the challenge, which I hope you will not stop at that point either, okay? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude. I will talk to you all tomorrow. See you guys.